Hey guys, welcome back to Yoga with Leona, your site for everything about yoga and breast cancer recovery. Today's video is going to be a special chair yoga video that I'm actually making primarily for my mom. Hi Mom. So today's practice will be primarily using a chair. We'll do some standing poses and then we'll use the chair to get ourselves down to the floor at the end. We'll take a couple of poses on the floor and then we'll be ready for Savasana or relaxation. But we're using a chair today to just make it a little bit easier to get into some of the postures. Normally, as you know, we use yoga blocks for some of our postures, but we're going to use a chair today instead. That makes it a little bit more accessible. You don't have to have a lot of props at home and just makes it a little bit simpler for some people's bodies. So make sure that you've got a chair that's fairly sturdy. So any kind of chair will work as long as it's not going to roll around or slide around on the floor. If you're on carpet, it's not that big of a deal that you have a yoga mat or not, but if you're on a hard floor with your tile or wood floor, make sure you set your chair on your yoga mat so that it won't slide around once you put a little bit of pressure on it. All right, and then the other props that I have today, I do have one yoga block, and I'll show you how to use that under your back at the end, but if you don't have a yoga block, then instead of the yoga block, you could use a rolled up towel or a small blanket. It doesn't give you quite as much distance under your hips as the block does, but it does pretty much the same thing. So that'll work just fine, a rolled up towel or a blanket if you don't have a yoga block. All right, let's get started. So I'm just gonna move my chair around a little bit so that you can see me, but if you're doing this at home, you could just have the chair in any position and you'll be able to look and see what we're doing. So I'm gonna start with my chair facing you so you can see what the postures look like. So the important thing about using a chair for chair yoga is you want to have your hips scooted a little bit forward of the chair. So you want your sits bones, or the bones just under your pelvis, to sit forward in the chair instead of slinking back in the chair like this. If you slink back in the chair and have poor posture, you're going to not be able to stretch your spine as well. So hips forward, feet are flat at the floor, and I like to have a little distance in between my legs just for stability. All right. So let's arrive at our chair. At the beginning of my yoga practice, I always like to arrive at a place of stillness. So yoga has many benefits, as I'm sure you know, but one of them is to really help us relax our minds, relax our bodies, and get into a place where we can have health and healing, so we're not so tense and stressed out as we tend to be in our modern culture. So arrive at your place of stillness. You can close or lower your eyes if that feels comfortable to you, and just begin to notice your breath. So you don't have to exert any control over the breath here at first, but just begin to notice it. Notice the air moving in and out at your nostrils. Notice your lungs gently rising and falling. So a famous yoga teacher by the name of Krishnamacharya once famously said, "If you can breathe, you can do yoga." So yoga is for everybody and everybody. And the idea is that yoga can be adapted to whatever your situation is. So whatever type of body you have, whatever maybe previous surgeries or things that you've been through in your life, you can still find yoga that's going to work for you and that's going to help you get all of those delicious benefits. All right, so yoga is for everybody and everybody. If you can breathe, you can do yoga. All right, I like to open my practice with one long Om. You can chant with me or not, your choice. So we're going to inhale deeply, exhale completely, inhaling for Om. Om. Very nice. Now flutter your eyes open if you have them closed, and we're going to begin with a little breathing practice. This breathing practice has some arm movement along with it. So again, check your posture. Make sure your hips are sitting sort of at the front of your chair, but you're very comfortable, strong through your legs. Your spine is nice and long, so stretch your head toward the ceiling as much as you can. And when you're ready, we're going to inhale and stretch our arms up to the sky for 2, 3, 4, full lungs at the top, and then exhale as you swing your arms down along the sides. 3 and 4. Let's take 4 more breaths like that. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, and 4. 3 more. Inhale, stretch to the sky, and exhale, float the arms down. Good, 2 more. Inhale, and exhale. Last one like this. Inhale, stretch it up, and exhale, float the arms down. Very nice. Now we're going to take a similar movement, but on the exhale, as you come down, you're going to twist gently, first one direction and then the other. All right, so let's go ahead and start with that one. So inhale, stretch your arms up to the sky. Exhale, twist gently to your left as you slowly bring the arms down on the exhale. Back to the front. Good. Inhale, stretch it up to the sky. Exhale, this time twist gently right as you bring your arms all the way down. Good, 2 more on each side. Inhale, stretch your arms up. Exhale, twist gently left. Good, inhale, stretch it up. Exhale, twist gently right. 1 more on each side. Inhale, stretch your arms to the sky. Exhale, twist gently left. Good. Inhale, stretch it up. Exhale, twist gently right. Good. Release the arms and just stop and breathe a moment. Feel your body starting to wake up a little bit. So one of the amazing ways that yoga works is it helps us to tone a part of our nervous system that we don't often use. It's called the parasympathetic nervous system, and it's the part of our nervous system that helps us rest, relax, digest, and heal. It's the opposite of the part of the nervous system that does the stress response, the so-called fight or flight. That's called the sympathetic nervous system. And in today's culture where we're so stressed out and so busy all the time, we really need to work on our parasympathetic nervous system to balance out that stress and that busyness to bring us into relaxation. And when we do that, then our bodies can live in this beautiful place of balance, healthier, happier, and more easy. All right, so that's what we're doing with all of these movements, coordinating with the breath. We're toning and strengthening our parasympathetic nervous system. All right, so let's start with a little spine warm-up. So on an inhale, you're going to, again, stretch your arms up to the sky. And then on an exhale, you're going to bring your left hand down to the side of your chair, and the right arm is going to stretch up and over. So keeping both of your sits bones squarely rooted into the chair, you're just leaning your body slightly to the left, feeling the right side of your body opening. So the muscles in between your ribs open, the shoulder opens. Good, and then inhale up to the top, and exhale, take the other side. So right hand to the side of your chair, stretch your body up and to the right. So you feel the left side body opening here. Feel that left lung nice and open. Good, now inhale, arms back to the top. And on an exhale, you're gonna, again, twist gently to your left. So the left hand will come to the chair behind you. The right hand will come to your left thigh. Now, you're not pushing on the thigh to torque your body into the twist. You're just gently twisting with the power, the strength in your core muscles. Good. Now, inhale, stretch back to the top. And exhale, take it the other way. So twist gently right. Right hand comes to the chair behind you. Left hand to your thigh. And just twist yourself using only your core. So again, moving gently as we wake up our spine, getting ready for the practice. Now, inhale, stretch your arms back to the top. Exhale, your hands down to your thighs, and then we're going to take what we call a seated cat-cow. So on an inhale, you push your chest out, head looks gently up, you're arching your back. This is a cow pose. And then on an exhale, you push your spine back toward the back of your chair, head comes down, curling your spine gently forward. Your spine looks like a mad cat. And then inhale, come back to neutral, nice tall spine. All right, we're gonna take all of those movements through 2 more times, a little bit quicker pace. We'll take 1 breath in each movement. All right, so inhale, stretch your arms up. Exhale, left hand to your chair, stretch the right arm up and over. Good, inhale, up to the top. Exhale, right hand to your chair, left arm up and over. Good, inhale, up. Exhale, twist gently left. Inhale, up to the top. Exhale, twist gently right. Good, inhale, up. Exhale, your hands to your thighs. Inhale, stick your chest out, arch your back, head looks up. Exhale, push your spine back to the back of the chair. And then inhale, back to neutral. Good, 1 more time through. Inhale, stretch your arms up to the sky. Exhale, left hand to the side of your chair. Stretch the right arm up and over. Good, inhale, up. Exhale, right hand to your chair. Stretch your left arm up and over. Good, inhale, up. Exhale, twist gently to the left. Inhale, stretch it up. And exhale, twist gently to the right. Good, inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to your thighs. Inhale, chest out, arch your back, head looks up. Exhale, push your spine back to the back of your chair. And then inhale, back to neutral. All right, guys, nice job. So that's what's called the spine warm-up. So we're bending our spine in all 6 different directions, side to side, twist and forward and back. So we've got our spine awake and ready for the rest of the practice. All right, so let's come up to a stand, and we're gonna come to where we're standing in front of the seat of our chair. So I'm gonna turn my chair sideways so that you can see what we're doing. So you're gonna stand in front of the seat of your chair. So maybe between 6 and 12 inches between you and your chair. And the reason we're gonna use a chair is that we're trying to protect our backs. So we don't want to injure ourselves in yoga, of course. The point of yoga is to be healthier and to feel better, not to risk injuring ourselves. And some of us, myself included, after going through breast cancer treatment or other things, we might be at risk of some weak bones like osteoporosis. And so if you're at all at risk of osteoporosis, we need to be very careful with our spine in yoga. And primarily, we need to be careful in our spine when we're bending forward. So if we curl our spine forward and put a lot of weight, for example, like if you were picking up groceries in this position, you know that would not be good for you, right? So we want to use instead a flat back as we bend forward. So anytime we're folding forward, we're keeping our spine very straight instead of curling down. And that's where the chair comes in. So let me show you the way we start with some sun salutations. You can go ahead and join in if you feel comfortable. So we're going to stretch our arms up to the sky. And then on an exhale, you're going to sweep your arms down as you bend your knees, sitting your hips down gently. See how straight my spine is until your arms come to grab hold of your chair. Now, then on an inhale, you're going to straighten the legs, shift your hips forward, but spine stays straight. Exhale, bend the knees, hips sit down, you look forward. And then inhale, we come all the way up, arms to the sky. Exhale, hands to your heart. We're going to keep going like that, 4 more like that. Inhale, stretch your arms up. Exhale, bend your knees, hips sit down, chest stays high, spine is straight. Now inhale, hinge forward, straighten legs. Exhale, hips down, look forward. Inhale, arms all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Keep going, 3 more. Inhale up. Exhale, sit your hips down. As you can see, you can make it harder by bending your knees more. Inhale, straighten the legs. Exhale, hips down, look forward, flat back. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart. 2 more. Inhale up. Exhale, sit your hips down, hands to your chair. Inhale, straighten the legs, hinge forward. Exhale, hips down, head forward. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Last one, inhale up. Exhale, sit your hips down, spine straight. Inhale, hinge forward. Exhale, hips down, look forward. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Now stop and breathe a moment. So you can see we're strengthening our legs, we're getting a little bit of mobility in our hips and our knees, but we're protecting our spine by keeping the spine nice and straight. All right, so our chair is our really good friend here in this yoga class. All right, we're going to take one more type of sun salutation. This one is called stepping back to a seesaw. So it's going to add a little stretch in through the legs, but it begins the same way. So again, feet are 6 to 12 inches in front of your chair. And you're going to inhale, stretch your arms up to the sky. Exhale, bend your knees, hips sit back, hands to the chair. Now you're going to step your left foot behind and place the heel on the floor. So if you have a look at your back foot, the toes are going to be turned out at like 10 or 20 degrees. So if you were looking at a clock, the back toes point to say 10 or 11 o'clock. The front foot is still pointing straight toward your chair. Now again, you can see how straight my back is. Now on an exhale, you're going to see if you can straighten that front leg. You're going to feel a big stretch through the front hamstring. That's okay. If it doesn't get all the way straight, that's fine. Never any pain in yoga. You might feel a good stretch, but don't feel pain. If you feel pain, you back off. Now then you're going to bend the knee, look forward, step the feet back to meet, and inhale, come up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Here goes the other side. Inhale up. Exhale, sit your hips down, hands to your chair. Right foot steps back. Now this time the toes are out at like 1 or 2 o'clock on a clock. And then you gently straighten the front leg, keeping your spine straight. Good. Feel a big stretch through the front hamstring. That's the back side of your thigh. And breathing comfortably. Bend the knee, look forward, step forward, and inhale, come up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Good, let's do that one more time on each side. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, sit your hips down, hands to your chair. Left foot steps back, straighten the front leg, keeping your spine straight. Feel a big stretch through that front leg. And then bend the knee to look forward, step forward, and come up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Very nice. Inhale up. Exhale, hips sit down, hands to your chair. Right foot back. Straighten the front leg, flat back. So always being aware of your back and always noticing your breath. Step it forward and inhale, come up. Exhale, hands to your heart. So stop and breathe a moment. Again, notice your breath. Notice if your breath starts to quicken a little. That would be very natural, right? We're doing some more movement with our body. Our body may be calling for a little bit more oxygen. So just be aware of that, notice that. The more you do this practice, the better shape you'll get in. The more you'll be able to keep your breath nice and slow and even throughout the whole practice. All right, we're going to do a couple of sequences now of different yoga postures. So let's come back to the same position. So you're facing your chair, 6 or 12 inches between you and the chair. You're going to inhale, stretch your arms up to the sky. Exhale, sit your hips down, hands to your chair. Now you're going to step the back foot back, and this time the foot is pointing all the way to 9 o'clock. Now, you're going to bring one hand to the front thigh and bring yourself up to a stand. This is called Warrior Two. So both arms are going to extend out to the sides. The front knee is bent. The front foot is pointing still toward your chair. The back foot is perpendicular to your mat, or like I said, pointing to 9 o'clock. Now, the important thing in this posture is that the front knee doesn't go in front of the ankle. That puts too much strain on the knee. So knee always just above the ankle. And then we gaze over the right front hand and breathe. Now, if you want to make this posture harder, you put more distance in between the legs. So the wider your legs go, the harder it is. The more effort, the more stretch. But if you're just getting started in yoga, just a little bit of distance is great. You're building strength and flexibility. Now, keeping the legs just as they are, you're going to come into reverse warrior. So left hand goes down the back leg, right arm stretches toward the sky. Front knee is still bent slightly, knee just above the ankle. Stretch that right arm all the way to the sky. Feel that right side body opening. Very nice. Now bring your torso back to the center, straighten the front leg. Now we're going to come to what's called triangle pose. So you're going to stretch out the right hand gently, keeping both legs straight. You're going to tilt your upper body so that the right arm comes down and the left arm goes toward the sky. So the right hand can be just kind of right in front of your thigh or in front of your knee. Don't put it on the knee and put pressure into that leg. So if you need to stay a little higher with your upper body, if getting out here is too much for your core, that's fine, you stay high. This is a big core strengthener, so getting all these muscles around our midsection nice and strong. Now you're going to bend the front knee to come out, arms back to warrior two. Turn yourself to the front and step the feet back to meet. Good. Stop and breathe a moment. Beautiful work. Awesome job. Really moving your body, feeling that breath again. Working on your balance, working on strength and flexibility. All of those things getting better. All right, let's take the other side. You're going to be looking at my back, but hopefully you'll still be able to hear me. So inhale, stretch your arms up. Exhale, sit your hips down, hands to your chair. This time, right foot steps behind. And then hands can come through that front thigh if you need to. Back foot, this time pointing to 3 o'clock, perpendicular to your mat. Front foot stays pointing front, front knee bent, knee just above the ankle. Again, arms out to your sides and breathe. Feel strong arms but relaxed shoulders. So shoulders aren't up in our ears. Shoulders relax, arms are strong. Good, now reverse it. Legs stay the same. Right arm down, the back leg, left arm to the sky. Stretch the left arm up. Good, straighten the front leg, bring your arms back to the center, and then stretch out that left hand for triangle. Tilt your upper body, left hand down in front of the thigh or knee, right arm to the sky. If it's okay with your neck, you gaze up to the top hand, but if that bothers your neck, you keep the gaze forward. Very nice, breathing calmly, nice core strengthening, leg strengthening, hip flexibility. Very good, bend the front knee to come out, arms into warrior two, turn your body to the front, step it forward, stop and breathe. So again, feel the energy in your body, feel the strength. So as we tone this parasympathetic nervous system, it's so good for so many things in our body. There have been lots of scientific studies that look at things that tone the parasympathetic nervous system can help your immune system be healthier. They can help your blood pressure be lower. They can help your heart rate be lower. So many amazing benefits that yoga can bring us to our bodies, deep in our bodies. Also benefits to our mind, of course, for relaxation and stress relief. All right, let's come back to place. We've got one more sequence, and then we're going to make our way onto the floor. All right, so again, facing your chair, 6 to 12 inches between you and the chair. Feel your spine so nice and strong. If you keep practicing yoga, we'll get all those muscles in your back nice and strong. It'll help your posture, and it'll help protect you from those sorts of injuries that we get when we have osteoporosis, like compression fractures and things like that. All right, second sequence. Inhale, stretch your arms to the sky. Exhale, bend your knees, hips sit down, spine straight. Now the left foot's gonna step back, and this time again, the toes are just gonna be out at 10 or 20 degrees. So this is that 10 or 11 o'clock on the back foot. Front foot points toward the chair, and we're gonna inhale, come all the way up, this time keeping our hips squared toward the chair. This is called Warrior One. So again, the front knee is just above the front ankle, and if you wanna make it harder, you put more distance between your feet. Arms are straight up above the head, shoulders relax down. Very good. Now you're going to bring your arms into a cactus. It looks like this, but your face toward the front. So cactus arms facing your chair. And then we're going to take 5 breaths in and out. So on an inhale, you open your chest, stick your chest out, arms come back. Exhale, pull your belly in toward your spine, arms meet in front. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale and exhale. Now you're going to tilt your upper body forward, keeping a flat back, reach for your chair. And then again, like we did in the seesaw, you're going to straighten that front leg as much as possible. Feel that hamstring stretch, but still keeping your spine nice and straight. Now bend the front knee and look forward. And then straighten that front leg one more time. If you can stretch your body down toward the leg a little bit and get a little more stretch, that's fine, as long as you keep the spine straight. Good. Now bend the front knee, look forward, step forward, sit your hips down, and inhale, come up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Deep breath here. Got one more side. All right. Inhale, stretch your arms up to the sky. Exhale, sit your hips down. This time, right foot steps behind, and the back toes are just at 1 or 2 o'clock. Front foot points toward the front. You can bring your hands to the thigh to make your way up to Warrior One. Arms up above head. So again, front foot points toward the front, the knee is just above the ankle, strong front leg. Very nice. Now hands into that cactus formation, so arms are like this, but you're facing your chair. 5 breaths in and out. So inhale, open your chest. Exhale, close. Inhale. Exhale. 3 more of these. This is moving lymphatic fluid around your arms and in through your trunk. It's so good for you, good for your immune system, good for your lungs. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Now tilt your body forward, straight spine, reach for your chair, and then straighten that front leg as much as you can. If it feels tight, you don't have to go all the way straight, no problem. So you're just stretching to where you feel a good stretch and then stop. Never feeling pain in yoga. Bend the knee, look forward. Exhale, straighten it again and stretch your body as far down as feels okay. Good. Bend the knee, look forward, step forward, and inhale, come up. Exhale, hands to your heart. All right, awesome job, guys. So take a couple of deep breaths there. I'm going to turn my chair around, but if you're at home, you can just walk around to the back side of us. We're going to use this to help ourselves balance before we get onto the floor. So just walk yourself around to the back side of your chair. We're going to want to be able to use our hand on the chair if you need a little help with your balance. All right, we're going to take one simple balancing posture called tree pose. If you've been to a yoga class, you've probably done it before. So tree pose is standing on one leg and opening the other knee out to the side. So we're going to shift our weight into our left foot. We're going to open the right knee out to the side. I like to bring my opposite hand to my hip to help me balance. Now, if you're just getting started and you're still working on your balance, you might keep the toes of the right foot on the floor, but feel the strength into your left leg. Feel yourself holding yourself up with that left leg. Now, if that's okay for you, then you might lift the foot up just gently. You place the sole of the right foot onto your calf. Again, feel your body stretching up to the sky. So don't dump into that side hip. That'll make it hard to balance, and it's hard on your hip. So stretch up. Feel the upward momentum in your body. Now, if you don't need the chair, you can bring hands to heart and practice your balance here. But if it's easier and you feel more comfortable, totally fine to use the chair until you're ready. All right, hands can come to heart. Take 2 more big, deep breaths, nice and slow. If you fall out, don't worry about it. Just get back in and try again. No big deal. That's how our bodies learn. That's how they build the strength. Good. Exhale, let it go. And shake your hips out a little bit. Yeah, that's a lot of muscle strength in the thigh and around the hips to hold us there. Let's take the other side. All right, so this time we shift our weight into our right foot. Left knee opens to the side. Again, you can keep the left toes at the floor and just work the strength through your standing leg here if you like. Or if that feels too easy for you and you want to pick the foot up, put the sole of your foot onto your calf. Feel the strength there. Again, try taking the hand off the chair if that feels okay. You can try hands at your heart. Some people like their arms out to the sides for balance. Whatever feels good to you, whatever helps you tone and strengthen your core and your standing leg. Very nice. 2 more breaths. Again, finding that meeting place between effort and ease, training your body to find calm in the midst of effort. So good for you. Awesome job. All right, let it go. Shake it out a little bit. And then if you're at the back of your chair, then come back around to the seat part of your chair. I'm going to spin mine around. And I'm going to show you how to use the chair to get yourself onto the floor. So again, many of us, if we're at risk of osteoporosis, we need to be a little bit careful when bending forward. So again, we don't want to roll our spine forward. So we, in yoga, we use a chair or we use yoga blocks to help us get from the floor up or from up down to the floor. So you're going to come like we were just doing. Inhale, stretch your arms up. Exhale, sit your hips down, hands to your chair. And then from here, with your straight spine, you've got the chair to hold you. You can step 1 foot behind you and gently lower that knee down. Now, once you're there, let's take a little stretch of our legs before we get all the way onto the floor. So you've got a little weight into your left knee, the right foot's forward, and if it feels okay, you're going to sink your weight gently forward. So feel your hips sinking gently forward. Again, just a slight shift forward. If that's really easy for you, you can bring your arms all the way up and get a little extra strengthening there, but totally fine to keep them at the chair, working mainly through our hips here. Very nice. 1 more breath here. All right, now shift your hips back so that your weight is above the left knee. We're going to bring the right knee down and then bring the left one up so we can stretch the other side. So right knee's at the floor. We're going to shift our weight forward. And if that's too easy for you and you want a little more, arms can come up, but they can certainly stay right at your chair, your choice. All right, 1 more breath here. Good, very nice. And then you can bring both knees back to meet, and then go ahead and make yourself down into a seat at the floor. All right, nice job, guys. So we're gonna come around to lie on our backs, and we're gonna take a little back stretching pose, a little inversion pose, and then we're almost ready for Savasana. So I'm gonna just scooch my chair out of the way a little bit, but I still want it to be here nearby so that we can use it to put our feet up on for our inversion if you choose that. All right, so make sure that your folded up blanket or your block are nearby so that you can grab them. And then you're gonna make your way onto your back. So bring your feet toward your chair and then slowly come down onto your back. All right, so our knees are going to be bent, our feet are flat to the floor. Once I get onto the floor, I like to take some windshield wiper movements with my knees, just to release that low back a little bit. So windshield wipe your knees side to side. Feel that delicious stretch through your low back and hips. So this is a great stretch you can do when you first wake up in the morning. I like to do this in bed sometimes. Really wakes up that low back. All right, very nice. Now we're going to take a little back bending posture, and I'm going to give you a few options. So the first option is to take your block or your blanket. I'll show you with the block first. And you're going to lift your hips up into the air and place the block underneath your sacrum. Now it's really important we get the block in the right place. So you don't want the block super high so that your butt is hanging off of the block. You want the block under the big bony flat part on the back of your pelvis, so under the sacrum. And then you can just rest right here. This is called supported bridge pose. So good for your low back. I know last time I did yoga with my mom, she really loved this, and she would actually straighten her legs out long in front and allow your body to drape over the block. You can try that and see how that feels. Now, if you don't have a yoga block, you can use a blanket instead. And remember, I mentioned the blanket's not as thick as the block, but it's still going to work. So you could take it here, or you could fold it over like this and do the same thing. Lift your hips up, place that blanket just under your sacrum, and rest here. Same thing, you can try extending the legs if that feels good to you. If that feels like too much stretch, then you can keep the feet bent. All right, now third option for bridge pose is the more active version of bridge. And in that version, you're going to have nothing under your sacrum. You're going to have feet flat to the floor, knees point toward the sky, your hands reach toward your heels, and you're going to gently push your hips up into the air. So you're using the muscles of your thighs to push your hips up. So you feel the thighs turn on and engage a little bit as you're arching your back, gently pushing those hips up to the sky. Take a few breaths in this position and then slowly roll it down. Good. If you've taken the active version, windshield wipe your knees. If you're on a block or a blanket, you can just stay there. We're going to have one more set of the active version. All right, very good. Feet flat, knees to the sky. Inhale, push your hips up. If you're on a block or a blanket, just stay there. And feel that delicious stretch through your low back. All right, very nice. Roll your hips down. Again, a couple more windshield wipers. If you're on a block or a blanket, stay there. I'm going to give us a couple of options for our inversion. So if you're on a block, the block is under your sacrum. The first option for your inversion is to stay right here. Or if it feels okay to you, you can bring your legs up to the sky. So notice that having that block under your sacrum, it gets your pelvis a little higher than your chest so that this is a little bit easier than if you were lying flat on the floor. So it shouldn't feel like a crunch. You shouldn't be having to engage your core a lot to get the legs up. It's really sort of a resting pose. We're just turning our body upside down, turning your circulatory system upside down, getting nice blood return from those legs. If you're on a blanket, you can try the same thing, see how that feels. So if you've got a blanket under your sacrum, again, raise the legs up in the air and see how that feels. Now, if your hips are flat on the floor, or in either of these positions, if you're on a blanket or a block, you can also bring your legs to rest on your chair. So this is a pose, we call it legs up a wall, and usually we put our legs up onto a wall to rest them, but you can do it on a chair as well. So if you were flat on the floor, you might want to scooch a little closer to your chair, and then slowly bring one leg up at a time. Rest those legs on your chair and just feel how delicious that feels. So not only is it getting the blood flow back from your legs, but it also gives a nice stretch through your low back. So it allows you to sort of press your low back into the floor, get a little different feel to that low back. So let's rest here 5 more breaths. So you've done lots of hard work today, moving your body in different positions, stretching your body, working on balance, flexibility, and strength. And now we're moving into the part of the practice where we're going to really practice relaxation. All right, last breath here. All right, now if you've got your legs up on your chair, slowly bring them down. And then you're going to just scoot yourself back such that you can extend your legs long and come into Savasana, which is our relaxation pose. So traditionally in Savasana, we're flat on our back, toes roll open gently, arms are out at our sides. But for some people, this can be a little bit uncomfortable in the low back. So some people might like to take their block or their blanket and prop it underneath their knees. So see a rolled up blanket under the knees, or even a block or a pillow under your knees can take some pressure off of your low back. You want to play with that and see what you need to do to get yourself into a completely comfortable position for relaxation. You might want to put a blanket under your head if that feels more comfortable to your neck. So take a minute or two to get yourself into a completely comfortable position for Savasana. If none of that works for your low back, you can always bring the feet flat to the floor and just let your knees knock in. This also is great for Savasana if you've got sort of a twitchy low back and it doesn't like the legs to be extended. All right, so you stay there in Savasana. I'm going to come up to a seat so I can lead you through Savasana. So you've made your way to your most comfortable position, lying on your back. Savasana is a super important part of yoga. It's where you get all the benefits to incorporate into your body from all the hard work you've done. It's where you really, truly practice complete relaxation of your mind and your body. So as I mentioned at the beginning, as a culture, we tend to be very busy, we're very stressed, we're always doing a million things and running a million miles an hour. Your yoga practice is the time and place for you to practice putting all of that stuff down. So whatever you're worrying about or wherever you have to go after this, just give yourself at least a few minutes at the end of practice to have freedom from all of those stressors. So as you settle into Savasana, let's take a little mental scan of our body, starting from the top of your head. Notice your brow and your jaw and your neck. If you notice that you're holding any muscular tension there, consciously release it now. Notice the big muscles in your shoulders and your upper back. Again, if you feel muscular tension, consciously release it. Notice the big strappy muscles running down along your spine and into your low back. Consciously relax each muscle in your body. Notice your hips and your thighs, the muscles in your lower legs. If you feel tension anywhere, consciously let it go now. Complete relaxation of your body. And then once you've got that, then turn your awareness to your mind and notice if you've got some chattering thoughts there. Very common to have that. That's our totally normal way to be. But use this time to practice seeing if you can just let those drift on by. Instead of gripping onto those thoughts and worries, just let them pass on by like a drifting cloud. If that's hard for you, as it is for many of us in Savasana, you can begin to count your breaths back from 10. So it's a nice little trick that will distract you from your thoughts. So inhaling 10 in, exhaling 10 out. 9 in, and so on, until your mind relaxes again and you arrive at complete relaxation of your body and mind. So just rest here another minute or so. Nowhere to go, nothing to do, just breathe and be here now. Very nice. When you're ready, let's start to wake our bodies up with some small movements of our hands and feet. Maybe stretching your fingers and toes, maybe making some circles with your wrists and ankles. Might feel good to turn your neck side to side and then stretch your arms long above head like you're just waking up. When you're ready, roll yourself onto one side and stop there for a couple of breaths. I have one last quote for you from a famous yoga teacher named BKS Iyengar, who says, "Yoga is a light which once lit will never dim, but the more you practice, the brighter the flame." So just keep doing your practice, keep coming back to your mat, whatever that looks like to you. If you just have a few minutes, you can just take one or two of the stretches that we did today, or maybe just take the breathing exercise or the things that we did in the chair. Whatever it looks like for you, whatever you have time for, just do a little bit of yoga on a regular basis and you'll start to really feel the benefits to your body and your mind. All right, when you're ready, make your way up to a seat. I'm going to close the practice with Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shanti in Sanskrit means peace. So when we chant Om Shanti Shanti Shanti, we're wishing peace for ourselves, peace for those around us, and peace for the universe. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. Inhaling to chant. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you for practicing with me today. Thank you for giving yourself this beautiful gift of yoga. Namaste.